Hey y'all, Jamie here, 54-year-old proud trans woman from New Orleans, Louisiana. So, yesterday, I left off talking about how me and my friend Dino were living with a girl named Crystal, a cis girl, and I had been chasing this boy James that I was crushing on so hard. And he came home with me one night. And I went to the bathroom. And when I came out, James and Crystal were on Crystal's bed going at it. Like, just going to town. And y'all, they didn't even stop when I walked in. Like, I mean, hello, who does that? They just kept going. And so, in that moment, don't know really what came over me, but I looked at them and I said, oh, okay, you know what? Cool. Y'all have fun. I'm going to be in the other room. And so I went in the living room. And I told Dino what was going on. I said, they're in there doing it. Yeah, they're in there banging. And Dino was like, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. And I said, you know, it's fine. I said, I got an idea. Follow my lead. So I went in there after they were done. I waited till they were done. And I told James and Crystal, I said, I got an idea. I want to go get us all a bunch of dope. And we can all party this morning. And they were like, you know where to go? And I said, yeah. No, I've got the perfect place to go. I said, but James, I need to borrow your car. His car that was like a 1970s muscle car that guys back then loved so much. And he also had everything he owned in the back of that car. Like, I knew that. All of his belongings were in the trunk. And he was hesitant at first. And then he agreed to give me the keys. So I told Dino, come with me. And we left the house. And then I told Dino, by the way, we're not coming back. And Dino said, no, girl, I left my shit in there. I've got to have my shit. So I couldn't go back in. Dino had an idea. We pulled around the back of the building. And Dino scaled, there was a garage behind the building, scaled up onto the roof of the garage, and then up to the second story where the bathroom window was, to our apartment. Dino went in very, very quietly, got all of his shit together, came back out, and we took off. So the first place we went was to a Catholic church that was on Rampart Street, just outside the French Quarter. There was a priest there that everybody knew. If you were a street kid, you could go see him and he would help you out. So we went there and explained to the priest that we were hungry and we were broke, and, you know, obviously we didn't tell him what was going on. And the priest helped us. He gave us some vouchers for Popeye's chicken. He gave us $20. And so we left. And we went and put the $20 in the gas tank. And we took off out of town. But we made it to Destrehan, which is just like it's past the airport in New Orleans, about 10 miles out in the swamps. Little bitty town. And we went there, and that's where my dad and my stepmonster live. They lived there at the time. And we were in their neighborhood. It was a country club neighborhood, big grand houses, and we're driving around, and I'm showing Dino. And then Dino told me he didn't know how to drive. So I said, well, you know what? I'll teach you. Sure. So I'm teaching Dino how to drive. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And we come to this corner, and Dino goes to take the corner too hard. And I start yelling, no, what are you doing? You're going too fast. Dino freaks, slams on the gas instead of the brake by mistake, and rams into the garage door of this house, this big, gorgeous, beautiful house on a private pond. Ran into the garage, into the Jaguar parked inside of the garage. And I start screaming, get out of here, go. And Dino was like, girl, no, you don't. You do it. I'm done. I'm not driving anymore. I can't do this. So I jumped behind the wheel and I put it in reverse and I hauled ass out of there. And we got back on the road and we decided to head to Houston. That's right, I missed Bo, I missed Angel, and New Orleans had not worked out for me that time. So we were headed back to Houston. And if y'all want to know what happens next, you know the routine. Be here tomorrow, and I'll be here too. Thank you for all of the love and kind words and everything, and I love y'all. Bye-bye.